And co-located to our war college was the biggest Marine Commando unit in the Indian Navy. So next month, November, this thing happened. So when what happens, any Marine Commando unit, any armed force unit has got something called a QRT, Quick Reaction Team, which is standby. Marine Commandos have got a few elements called the Prahars, which are always ready to move in half an hour to meet any contingency. So they had about a couple of people who were ready at any point in time. That day on 26th, 28th was November was a birthday. On 26th, we suddenly switched on the TV at around 9 o'clock. We found there was something happening in Taj, and something happened in Sion Hospital, and also in the VT station. VT station, I think, yeah, VT station. So people thought it could be a gang war or some kind of things. But later on, as things unfolded, they realized that it is a bit more than the gang war. Then our teams were mobilized without knowing head and tail of what is happening. At around 12:30 at night, they reached Mumbai and Taj. There was a lot of chaos there. And the team were told to enter. So teams entered. They entered, and the ground floor of the Taj was all chaos, mayhem, a lot of people dead. All those people you see in page 3 and all, those kind of people lying dead. Some people actually very seriously injured and all. So it startles people, young Marcos who have never been to a 5-star, because you can't afford to go to a 5-star like this. You don't even know the layout of the place. You don't know anything about the place. You don't even know what the situation. How is the situation evolving? But you just went because you were told to go, because it became like a situation critical. So you have to do something. The other people are not coming inside because obviously, they're not trained for it. So our guys went inside, and they started clearing each and every room. So they were able to save a lot of people and escort them back. Outside there was light, inside was dark. So they opened the door. The moment they opened the door, the light from outside went inside. So unknowingly to them, there were 3 or 4 terrorists inside the room. They had done killing initially. Thereafter, they were trying to recuperate before they start the next phase of operation. So they suddenly found somebody coming inside. And the moment one of my the commando sailor went inside, and there's a drill by which you go inside. So we follow a buddy pair. So one guy went inside, second guy was outside, and the other 5-6 people are lined up behind. He heard a cocking of AK-47, and he realized that now they are under grief because there is somebody who's cocking AK-47. We were using MP5s. So there's a distinct noise of MP5 cocking and AK-47 cocking. And then there was a volley of fire from the other side. And this guy got hit somewhere in his this part and also in his clavicle. Fortunately, not fatal. And he just slumped down. When that happened, the other guys told not to come inside the room, because then it would have been a problem, because now they are in an advantageous position. They can see because there's light behind you, and they can actually take a pot shot. This guy was lying down. He took out a grenade and chucked a grenade at the terrorist. And the grenade did not burst. Now, this hotel staff told that this is the only exit from this room. So these guys actually laid position themselves so that when the terrorists come out of the room, they will be shot. But they did not know, and also the staff did not know, that there's another exit from behind. Wow. And see, when the terrorist fired, this guy also got hit, he also fired. And then the second buddy who's there, he also fired. So, but these are all aimless firing, because at night you can't see anything. And it was aimless. And now you see, you only wear a night sight when you're in a dark atmosphere. If you are working in a hotel where the lights are on, you can't wear a night sight, because it will actually, the image intensified tube of the night sight will get spoiled. Your eyes will also get damaged. So they were not wearing a night sight at that point in time as they entered the room. So this guy fell down, and everyone fired. They also fired. There was a volley of fire. Then there was firing stopped. These guys jumped out and went somewhere else. Then one of the guys came and chucked even the terrorists, they chucked a Chinese grenade, and that also didn't burst. Now imagine if the grenade had burst, then all the terrorists would have been dead, but this guy also would have been dead. But in the heat of the moment, it happened. Then he was pulled out. Now what has happened is that the terrorists encountered a special force, which they were not expecting. Because as things turned out later on, extensive planning was done by Mr. Headley and all those people. They would have done the recce of the entire area. They would have known that NSG actually is in Manesar, Delhi. It will take X amount of time for them to come to Bombay, and Bombay traffic and all those things. And is priority given or not? All these are issues which are linked up issues. So they would have easily got a breather of 4 to 5 hours from the time they actually start doing the killing till the time the terrorists can actually, the force can be brought to bear upon them. That was maybe in their mind. And secondly, this was not a anti-terror. It was not a hostage situation. It was like a war because they had come to kill only. They knew that they'll perish. So they were just killing left, right, and center. But when the Marcos entered and the firefight took place, that was the first firefight. So these guys jumped out. The guy who was hurt, he left his weapon in his pack and jumped out. So this pack and weapon was recovered. Then they realized that it is not gang warfare any longer. It is actually a terrorist operation. And then they read the entire thing. It is Pakistani things. So then the situation totally changed. Now, meanwhile, the other reinforcement of Marine Commandos came from the unit. And they became, so 4 Prahas means 32 people entered Taj and 16 people entered Trident also, overall Trident. And they started searching room to room. The terrorists, who were earlier the hunters, became the hunted. So the Marine Commandos, the small force of about 16 or 32, had rescued about 150 or 160 people. And when I say rescue, they were helped by the staff of the Taj, and I think kudos to the staff of the Taj Hotel. They were very brave, and they all got them out. Then next day morning, the NSG came, and see, NSG, this is the core area of the NSG. So there are 2 elements within the Special Action Group. It is called SAG 51, SAG 51, which is anti-terrorist operations, and SAG 52, which is anti-hijacking operations. The anti-hijacking operation is one of the most complicated operations amongst all special operations. So the force which came there was from SAG 51. They came and they landed early in the morning. Then by BST buses, they came to the area where the event was happening. And thereafter, they pressed into operation. They took about 1-2 hours for getting the general information about and the orientation from the Marine Commandos who had spent the whole night there. And for some time, even the Marine Commandos, along with the security staff of the hotel, they helped them out. And once the NSG is a very trained force. Is one of the best trained force we have in our country, or maybe I'm saying that it's a teamwork, and a lot of people work together. But how much people worked, who organized it, that is an issue here. The people who have got keen eye and who are initiated to special operations will actually know. And secondly, like a heart attack or any other medical calamity, emergency, there is something called the golden period. So like if you got a heart issue, within 1-2 hours, if you are able to take a person to the hospital and under effective medical care, you can save the person. Same thing happens in terrorist operations also. The first 2-3 hours are very crucial. If you are able to, at that 2-3 hours, if you are able to enter and encounter the force, the terrorists, then they become the defensive. Then the gravity of the damage is limited and restrained.
Yeah.
So I think the Marine Commandos did. Of course, there are other people who also worked alongside. There were anti-terrorist squad of the Mumbai police also came, but then they were not equipped for this kind of heavy-duty operation. So they accompanied thereafter, they pulled out, and the staff of the Taj was always there. Then the army was cordoned out, and later on the NSG came, and NSG are masters in this. Yeah. They did a fantastic job.